After Hours with Jeff and Julia. Welcome. You can watch on Facebook Live and comment in our community chat from there. Also join us on the KSN Plus app on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, and now Samsung TV. We were off yesterday, Election Day, back today.
Yep.
And our friends are back. Karen saying hello, Jeff and Julia. Christine, hello everyone. Happy Wednesday, Steve.
The big names are in. I like it.
Yeah, woohoo. Hi, everyone. Let's go.
Let's do it.
That's how I imagine he would say it. And Jacob. Hi, Jeff and Julia.
We got a good crowd. We got a good audience tonight.
All our friends. Not all of them. They're not on yet.
No, but most of them are.
We know Doug is not going to be on tonight.
That's right.
He has a very special family event going on, but I'm not going to divulge that. I'll let him maybe share when he gets back on.
Okay. We will not have a podcast tomorrow. This will be the only After Hours.
Yes.
They are sending me north to attend a job fair in Lawrence, Kansas. So I will be gone all day doing that.
I did hear you say in the newsroom, better get my resume ready. And I laughed. And then some of our new people.
They thought it was serious.
I don't know what they thought, but they didn't laugh.
Wait, what? You're going to a job fair?
They were confused.
I will be I will be at KU tomorrow.
Ooh.
Rock Chalk. So
how do you sell the youths? How do you sell them? What's your sell?
Oh man, I don't really have a sell. I just talk. I want to talk to people, meet and greet. Tell them how great they are.
Maybe we should have a sell.
I'm not. Let's see. What would be the suggestion? I could show them clips of this podcast.
You could.
I could.
But then they would be like, "Oh, that's what we get to do."
Well, yeah. Eventually, after 30 years, you could do this.
You got to spend a lot of time proving to people you will get up to the line, but you won't cross it.
I don't know, but I am excited because I do enjoy. University of Kansas has a beautiful facility.
They do.
Their media, I think it's Stauffer Hall.
Something to know before you go tomorrow?
I know. No, I've been there. I just don't. It's William Allen White School of Journalism is the umbrella, but they have this wonderful facility, and I get to go hang out there for several hours, talking to young, inspiring journalists who might want to partake in a career in this field of study. So, I'm excited. Got my table. You got the table and all the handouts and the business cards and all that. You got to set all that stuff up.
Are you going to take the wagon? There's like a wagon.
I'm not taking the wagon.
You're going to carry all the gear through campus?
Yes, of course I am.
In a suit?
Who says I'm wearing a suit?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I mean, I will wear something very nice.
What are you going to wear?
Suit, probably. Maybe. I've done a lot of things in suits. I could carry some gear in suits. I'm okay with that.
We have carried a lot of gear in,
Yeah,
formal attire.
Absolutely. Oh, I like how you put that.
Yeah, it is. It's formal attire. I have heels in my go bag that women will understand. Like the heel is janky on the back.
Yeah.
But I call them like my fire chasing heels because if I have to go in a dirt field or I got to chase something and mess up the shoes, I've already got the pair of shoes that are messed up.
I'm a cheap shoe guy, so every pair of dress shoes that I own that I wear to work are
only a couple grand.
Oh gosh, no! Oh my goodness gracious. No, they are inexpensive. I mean, cheap. I buy cheap. Now, on the flip side of that is they don't last long. I mean, you can buy a cheap pair of shoes, and I just wear them to work. They don't last very long. I mean, I get a couple of years out of them probably.
Now you say that, and you're like, "Oh, she's giving me a hard time again."
No,
but like the suit off the rack, right?
No, I get those custom cut up.
That's the point.
But they've lasted. Some have lasted 20 years. It's an investment. I think you got to invest in your wardrobe.
Yeah.
And I still, in terms of other news people or television anchor men, and I'm still probably the worst dressed dude.
I don't know.
I am. Those other guys that I've met through my career, they're dressed to the nines, man. They just look good. They're tight. The stuff in the little
You used to have the custom
I used to do
cufflinks.
But the older I got, just like, ugh. I like them. I love them. I need to get back to that. But no, in terms, I am not a fashionista. I struggle with knowing how to dress, not just formally, but also casually. In fact, I'll take it a step further. I struggle more dressing like business casual and or than I do dressing in a suit. Like I struggle with that. I really don't have a wardrobe that is like a what do they call it? Casual dress.
Even business casual. I was going to an event the other day and I needed business casual, and I asked like a coordinator. I said, "Oh, is it like, do I need to wear like closed-toed shoes?" And she laughed at me and said, "Oh, that's so cute." And at first I was offended, and I was like, "What do you mean that's so cute?" But then I asked my sister, I said, "Can I wear this to it's business casual?" And she said, "No, you can't."
Oh.
So I totally get that.
But that's I struggle. So for me, yeah, that's more of an issue than wearing a suit.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm still not good at suits and stuff.
Yeah.
After all these years, I still stink at it.
I had to give you a hard time though, because you're like, there was one time on the podcast when we first started and we weren't 100% comfortable yet with like the banter and like being authentic and being real. And you made some comment about like, I'm just a casual dude. And I was like, yeah, right. You're sitting in a custom suit. And I ragged on you when we got off.
Let's pump the brakes on the custom
It
stuff.
is. It's a custom suit. You have a dude in Dallas you send your measurements to.
Well, it's Houston.
Okay.
But, and I met him in Chicago. He's a great man.
Yeah.
He's a great man. But I will say this. These suits have lasted. And thankfully, I'm still relatively the same shape that I was
Which is
like
great.
15, 20 years ago.
Motivation.
Like everything like kind of still fits really, really well.
Yeah.
I mean, it does fluctuate every now and then, but they've lasted. And I mean,
Yeah.
I wear the hell out of them. I mean, they're working suits, man. I mean, it's, I put them through the paces.
You did tell, so you have a suit, the suits career is about the same age as one of our new reporters.
Yeah, I have.
I thought that was super funny.
I'm literally wearing a suit that's his age.
Yes.
I know. And he's like, where do you get your suits, man? I'm like,
hey, man, this is older than you.
It is. He's like, that looks great. I'm like, does it? Because I don't think it does.
I have dresses from college that I've had to get rid of just because I wore them, and I'm like, I wore them out.
The great thing about television is that you can wear things that are not that nice, that I call it like television suits, like television ties.
Oh, yes.
Like you can get away with wearing things that like you would never, like for example, there's a couple of suits I actually wear to work that I wouldn't wear to like a formal event or something, because they're not
in person, not as nice.
They're trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, like like
I have dresses
frayed
like
sleeves
that.
and everything, but you can get away with wearing it on television because and I encourage a lot of our new folks, like our less experienced folks, I'm like, invest in like a nice suit or two nice suits, invest, and then just mix and match, but wear them, wear the hell out of them.
Oh yeah.
And so then they do. Most people do that.
I feel like the women more than the men will appreciate it, but I had 3 dresses from Shein. Okay. And like they're notorious for not being super good quality. One, I loved the dress, but it was just not, it looked great on TV, but it did not look good in person. And I dumped another one. And then the third one, I will wear it when you're not in. I only wear that dress when we don't anchor together, because it looks fine, but for whatever reason, I'm like, I just feel like it looks better when I'm solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have several suits that I have not worn in years that don't quite fit me right, but I still have them.
Yeah.
I still have them.
Yeah.
But I don't wear them because they just don't fit right.
Yeah.
Or they just don't fit.
I like the people that like get to work remote. That's my dream of like only like
really
people email in. It was a big thing where they're like, oh, are the dudes wearing basketball shorts at the desk? And you wear basketball shorts like every other day. No,
I don't. I worked for a guy at another television station years ago. I won't tell you which one. And he was my boss, and he got in trouble for wearing shorts.
That's because you can't wear shorts.
I know. And his whole thing was, nobody can see him. Well, one time they were saying goodnight, and they had a wide shot, Usually at the end of a newscast, somebody will say, good night, we'll see you tomorrow, whatever. And they pan back or they pull back.
Yeah.
When he can see, this is, he's wearing the khakis, and his legs are out there with the flip-flops. And I remember he got a nasty gram.
Yeah, I bet he
got
did.
written up there. That was not a good thing.
He got written up.
I've never worn shorts, even when I did sports for 7 years. I never wore shorts on the set, ever.
I will pull the curtain back. There is a gentleman who allegedly goes by the name of Dwayne. And he emails newswomen all over the country and asks if they're barefoot. And so there was I'll share this with you on the community cast, but don't tell Dwayne.
This stays here.
Yep.
Okay.
This
Everything
is
we
secret.
do here stays here.
There were times when I worked in Odessa where our set here, we roam, we move, and we stand behind the desk, but we move at different locations in the set, which will dictate, like, obviously when we're standing away from the desk, you can see, like, if you're in shorts. But when I was in Odessa, we only had one location and you were seated the whole time. And I would run my own prompter, but it was like driving, so I wouldn't wear a heel. So I would go either barefoot or I'd have socks on sometimes. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was barefoot and we all shared that foot pedal and other people were barefoot. Now I'm like having that realization in real time.
But that was back in your days of like just washing out some random cup in the trash and
No, that was when I was in college.
Oh, okay.
I would never do that as an adult.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
There are people at home that are like, miss that story.
No, you mentioned up the guy that would send emails about your feet, and we pull back the curtain, and it's not as bad anymore today, but imagine, if you will, 15, 20 years ago, before trolls could go on social media, they would send you the direct email. They would troll you just by sending you emails. And so, man, there's some weird people out there, y'all.
Did you get any weird ones? You're
did.
like smiling because you have weird ones.
I did, but here's where I screwed up, Julia.
Okay.
This is where I messed up. I should have kept every email.
We've talked about this.
To do a book.
Yeah.
I could have done a beautiful, funny book with every you're awful, you should be fired email that I've received.
Even like
life.
the nice ones that are backhanded, those are good too.
But I didn't. Back then I just get mad and delete the email, or sometimes I would respond in a nice way. But that doesn't happen as much anymore because now people can just troll you online.
Yeah.
So they don't have to actually send you a personal email. But man, we got some doozies. I got some doozies in my career. I got some. And women in broadcasting, and it's not even close, get far more harassing emails and or inappropriate emails than men do.
Yeah.
And it's 10-1.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
So, and you've dealt with your fair share over the course of your career.
I will say I feel really blessed. People have been and I'm like, knock on wood. People have been incredibly kind to me.
Oh, you get a lot of really kind emails as well.
But even like I look back and my mom, I give a lot of credit to my mom who for years had to text me and say, your blush is too dark. I mean, every day your blush, it's too dark, it's too dark, it's too dark. And not that many people wrote in about my blush. And I look back and I'm like, y'all, it was too dark. Like my mom should have snuck in and like pulled the blush out of my makeup bag and like snuck away in the night. But like I sit there and I look back and I'm like, some of them were right.
But see, you would get emails primarily on what you look like
on
your dress. And, and I would typically get emails based on, like, the one I remember most was a man. I was doing a sports cast and I did a story about KU, or I think I showed KU highlights, maybe basketball. I don't remember. But I didn't have any K-State elements in my little sports cast. And I was fairly new, and I got this email, and it was sent to the station. I
hate those. I hate when they're sent to everybody you work with.
And the guy wanted me fired.
Of course he did.
He was a K-State guy.
Yeah.
And it might have been vice versa. It was either I did K-State stuff and I left out KU or whatever. But it was a fan of the other, of like either KU or K-State, whichever one didn't have. And he was adamant. He's like, he should be fired now.
Yeah.
He's a homer and he should be fired and all that. And I remember when you're young. Listen, when you're starting out in this thing and you're young and you get an email like that from a viewer, you're petrified.
Yeah.
You're like, because you want to make everybody happy and you're trying to, and then you get this email like, oh my goodness. And then you hope that your boss, you're young, so you don't realize that, no, they're not in there going, well, I got this bad email about Jeff. I guess we got to fire him. Like, they don't make those decisions like that. But thankfully, the people who I worked for at the time I had their full support, and they were like, hey, this happens.
Worry about it.
Because at that time, I didn't know, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, hey, man, it's sports. Everybody's cool. No, that's not true.
Oh,
They're very
yeah.
passionate about sports. And so our sportscasters, our sports journalists also get lit up a lot
yeah.
because sports is one of those things that drives passion and fans who argue about their teams or about athletes just feel it's appropriate to go ahead and
it's like
get
politics.
onto it. Yeah, it is exactly like that. So anyway, it just is what it is. And I'll never forget that email and just thinking, I actually thought I was going to get fired.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And one of these days.
Did you really mess up?
No, I just didn't. I didn't mess up. I just didn't have. Like sometimes how do I get into this? I only had like 2 minutes, right? So you got to stack your sportscast.
And
So it wasn't like but they wanted like fair, if you're going to talk about KU for 30 seconds and you got to talk about KU, well, whatever. That doesn't apply here.
Yeah.
One of these days I should tell the story about Roy Williams on this podcast. I think enough time has passed. I have a Roy Williams story that has haunted me my entire career. And
I know the story.
I'm actually now at a point in my life where I'm comfortable talking about it because this would have been 25 years ago, and I'm not going to tell it today, but I have this Roy Williams story, and it has been part of my. There's two things that have followed me around for 30 years, and that's this Roy Williams story and BTK. Those are two things that have been in.
I know the Roy Williams story. Not because you first told me, but because a mutual friend said,
it got out.
Ask Jeff that story.
It got out.
And so, of course, I'm like, this is going to be good. And it was.
That I wouldn't say almost cost me my job.
It was a good story. But
that's where I really felt like if I was going to get fired, that was going to be
it.
That was going to be it. But I won't tell it today. But I will tell it. Because I do want to share it.
Yeah.
Because enough time has passed, and Roy's retired, and
I will add it to our scheduling calendar.
Okay.
So that you can tell that story because it is a good one, and
it's a good story.
Funny for those of us who are not involved.
It wasn't funny then for me.
Exactly. That's why I didn't say for you. For those of us not involved,
and
it was funny.
Certainly was not funny for Roy Williams. But
it was not funny for a lot of people.
He didn't think it was funny.
But enough time has passed.
Enough time has passed.
Roxanne did say you dress very well, Jeff. And then
thank you, Roxanne.
Dina said, "Oh no, pull that cup back up. Does Jeff collect red Solo cups?"
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Dina said, "Hey,
I've been
26.
to 3 parties today." All right.
Yeah.
We try to conserve it. Like, listen, we don't have like an unlimited supply of cups in the building.
Yes.
So I try to recycle and save. And I feel like 3 is the appropriate stack.
At one point, he was walking around with both of them.
I wasn't I?
Yeah.
Did I do that?
No,
I didn't.
Dina said. So Olivia said, "Dina, how are you?" Dina said a bit of a tough beginning to the year, but hanging in there.
I hear you.
Olivia said, "I'm sorry. I'm glad you're hanging in there. I'm good. I can't believe it's already March." I echo that. Karen echoes that. March Madness.
Spring forward, yo.
Oh,
Saturday
Sunday.
night.
Yeah.
Is it Saturday night? Saturday night.
Yeah.
Roll those clocks ahead.
Suzanne said, donate the suits to the Twice as Nice prom event in Derby.
Yes. I want to donate. I actually talked to you about that.
Yes.
About what I should do with some of these suits because I do want to donate them. And in the past, I have donated suits to Goodwill, but I feel like there might be an opportunity to use them because they're nice.
Yeah.
Not that I donated plenty of nice things to Goodwill.
I know what you mean.
But yeah, there might be an opportunity there for somebody to really get a decent suit for nothing.
We had talked about my sister helped me clean in November, and I had bags and bags and bags of really nice, really expensive work dresses that just didn't fit, or they were in great condition, and I did bring them to Dress for Success. And so that's specifically for women. They might have a men's section.
I have a weird.
I like this though. From Suzanne. So not trying to steer you away from that.
I was just going to say I have a weird body shape. So like I have very broad shoulders. I do. I have broad shoulders and a really skinny waist. and I have a kind of a big chest. So
what happens on the podcast stays.
no, but what I'm
Yes.
saying is, anytime I would get a suit, the jacket that fits my upper body, the trousers would
Yes.
be way too big
Yes.
in the waist because I have a small waist.
Yeah.
So it's like I have a big, broad upper body,
Yes.
small waist, and so they'd have to figure out how to match the coat with the trousers.
Yeah. Which
Anyway.
is probably why custom was good.
Yeah, it worked out. That I finally had to do that because I just literally could not get stuff off the rack because there was not
Yes.
enough fabric. They had to take so much fabric out of the pants to match. It was a mess.
So here's an interesting thing that I did not share, but I will share now. We're sharing a lot on the podcast tonight.
A lot of personal stuff.
I don't know if I was allowed to do this, but a lot of the dresses that I had a lot of them taken in. The reasoning is the same thing. I'm very tall, especially for a woman, but I'm very petite in that regard, I guess. So the smaller dresses don't fit lengthwise, but the longer dresses
Yep.
are like too big. So the labels on a lot of the dresses that I donated might have one size, but a lot of them had to be taken in. So it's the same thing that I'm like, oh, it's a little bit of an, I don't know.
That's
Good
the
luck
thing
if you're
when
dressed for success wearing one of my
That's what I'm
dresses.
saying. When I donate these suits, like many of them are just, I'm not so sure that the pants would fit
Yeah.
the individual who would fit the coat.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I'm like, somebody will.
But the coat itself has value.
Yeah.
So if they want a sport coat
Yeah.
or something like that.
Oh my gosh, Doug is on. Happy Wednesday, y'all. I'm
What's up,
about to
D?
put shorts on now. Doug, we didn't know if you were going to be on. I don't know if you heard us at the beginning of the podcast. We don't know if you want to share because it is today, this Wednesday, with something pretty cool.
We'll let him share. If he wants to share,
Yeah.
no, that's fine.
Jacob said, so ready for spring. Olivia said, okay, I'm ready for summer. I need a tan. But then in the summer, it'll be in my birthday in June, I believe. And I laughed because I don't wait for it. I'm like wiping on my fake tan every week.
You did a good job the other day.
No,
with
I
the
did a
stuff
terrible
on
job.
near
And
your
Jeff said,
ankles.
whoa, look at your feet.
I said,
and
what
I said,
is going on?
that's my fake tan.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
It's
I've been my own fake tanner for a long time, and some weeks it's better than others. Ask my mother.
fake tan. Oh, somebody say they're ready for spring.
Everybody's saying they're ready
You're going
for
to get your
spring.
taste on Friday of spring. Yeah. Weather aware, people. Friday. Get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. I don't mean that jokingly. You should. If you don't pay attention to the weather, pay attention Friday. That would be my guess, or not my guess. That's not a guess.
That's your advice.
It's my advice.
That's your
You
advice.
can take it or leave it, whatever you want to do. But
Okay. I did
Pay
tell my
attention
boyfriend,
Friday.
I said Friday, because we had that snowstorm a couple weeks ago. And
Mm-hmm.
my favorite thing is when people are like, it came out of nowhere. And I'm like, it didn't though. Like Lisa's been telling
Right.
us about this for 5 days. We all knew. And so he said, well, next time there's something coming, like tell me so I'm weather aware.
okay.
So I told him, and he is from Kansas, and he sent me a chat GPT list of like what to do to prepare for a tornado. And I'm like, hey man, we're good.
Nobody knows.
Like, we're gonna be fine.
That. Like I do find it comical, and I'm not trying to diminish it. It is important. You need to know what to
Yes.
do. But if anybody knows what to do, it's every person ever in Kansas. Like you know what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, most people know what to do.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't do it, it's because you are choosing not to, and
Yeah.
you're doing something silly for clicks or whatever
I
you're
think,
doing.
yeah. And he knows,
So-
but he's definitely like the safety guy. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
appreciate that he will be prepared. And I do tell people, because they ask what my like Kansas tornado experience was. And I would, like, I remember the very first, when I first moved here, and it was the very first thunderstorm in the spring, and it was
Mm-hmm.
so loud. I woke up in the middle of the night. First time a thunderstorm woke me up. It was the loudest thunder I've ever heard. And I thought for sure,
I had one
this
last
is
night.
it.
Last night woke me up.
Really?
Yeah, there was one. I don't know what time it was, but I woke up.
Yeah.
And it was the wind that got me. I could hear the wind
Yeah.
just beating the side of the house. So, yeah.
I was gonna
Woke
let
me
you
up.
get there.
No, I know. It took my time. It was just like, I woke up. I should have checked. I thought, like, man, I'm going to look at the clock, but I didn't check the time. It was probably 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
I guess. I'm just guessing, maybe.
It is, but we have loud thunderstorms here.
We do.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some loud ones Friday.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There'll be some loud ones Friday.
Wow.
Maybe really, really loud. Like sounding kind of like freight train loud.
Yeah. But that was the point. It was like that first thunderstorm that made me say, oh my gosh. But then as like the season progressed, I remember the first time it was like, and I take it very seriously, but I always have my phone. I know Lisa's going to send an alert. But then like the fourth time we had like a watch out, I think like I went to Target that day. But like I got better at like doing the Kansas thing of like be prepared, but also live your life.
Yeah, my dad was a big weather geek.
Yeah.
I mean, he wanted to be a meteorologist when he was a kid. It was
that's
his
cool.
dream. He never got there. But to a fault, I also pay really close attention to the weather. And a lot of that just habitual because I like to fish. I'm a fisherman.
Yeah.
So if you're a fisherman or a hunter or you do outdoor stuff all the time as a serious hobby, you're always checking weather. I mean, weather drives everything, right?
Yeah.
So I pay really close attention. And sometimes I wish I didn't.
Yeah.
Because it does create within me some anxiety. And I mentioned to you today.
Yeah.
Because you could say, hey, what's wrong with you?
No, I did not say, hey, what's
You
wrong
said,
with
what
you?
What is wrong with you right now?
You said something about being stressed, and I said, what is stressing you out?
That's not what I remember. I thought you looked at me and you're, hey, what's wrong with you?
And then I kicked your dog.
You did. And he yelped. And I said,
Oh.
I remember what I told you. I said, I do.
Yeah.
Weather gets me a little nervous. Not for the reasons you think. I'm not worried about like property damage or anything. It's a different kind of worry or a different kind of anxiety.
Yeah.
But Friday's got me a little amped up.
Yeah.
A little bit. And so I was kind of spinning on that a little bit. And so, yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm the one that calls all my family members. I'm like, oh, what are you doing Friday? Be careful. Don't be driving around. Keep your eye on the sky, that kind of stuff. And they're like, oh, Jeff.
I feel like we have different approaches of like, for me, it's I can't do anything, but I will watch whatever Lisa tells me to do.
I guarantee I tell you, not to interrupt, I know exactly why I'm anxious.
Why?
Well, a lot of it had to do with Greensburg.
Yes.
So that night, which was a Friday, I got off the air during the Greensburg tornado, and it hit during the newscast. It was a Friday night, and my boss at the time said, "You need to go there right now." Yeah. So I ended up working, and I didn't sleep for 2 days. And after 2 days with no shower, no sleep, I got back to the station, and as I was driving home, I was so tired I got pulled over by a sheriff's deputy on 235. Yeah. Because I think I was weaving in and out. Yeah. And he stopped. He pulled me over, and it was late. It was it was after that evening newscast on like maybe it was a Monday night or a Sunday night. I don't remember. Maybe it's Sunday. And he's like, "What's going on?" I said, "Hey, I've been in Greensburg," and he knew who I was. Like, okay, yeah. Just be careful and this and that. I said, "I've been out there for 2 days." But my point is, I'm getting to all this is that that experience was so hard and so demanding. I don't want to ever do that again. And so I think sometimes when we have these severe weather events, I get a little like, because it brings back all of those memories of how it was anguish. Yeah. I mean, and it not just it was anguish for all those people, but it was also anguish for the people that were there to work or help. I mean, it was just this constant, and then you have, and I know the circumstances are different, but you've got people back at the TV station, and they're on you, and they're like, you need to do this and this, and we got to have this, and we were ABC affiliates, so at the time ABC owned the Weather Channel, and they were like, you need to do these live hits for the Weather Channel, and you need to do and you're just overwhelmed with stuff. And I was young at the time, and I don't think I handled it very well. I mean, clearly it stuck with me, but I didn't. It was really the first time in my career where I was asked to stay up for 3 days and try to do stuff. Anyway,
my longest shift is 26 hours, and
good for you.
And it is like you get to a point where you are exhausted, and so good for you.
Well, I mean that's that. No, I mean, I think it's important that. I'm getting all sidetracked here with our profession, but I think everybody at some point needs to experience that.
Oh, yeah. And I worked multiple 26-hour shifts. Like I say my longest is, but it's not one, it's multiple. But I don't think that's not an uncommon thing in our profession. But the point is, I mean, it's exhausting. You get to the end and you're like, oh, like, where's the steam? And you find the adrenaline to obviously keep going. But I think the biggest, like the part of the reason is the emotional toll that it is. Because you are balancing, I have a job to do, but how do I compartmentalize it? And I'm standing on the lives, like when I say standing, of like you're sitting there talking to people whose lives are just destroyed, and you're just devastated for people.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that again. And so that's when we have events like we may have on Friday. It gives me the jitters, the little anxiety jitters, and so hopefully everything will be okay.
Good for you.
Friday. No, good for you, man. 26, that's pretty good. Stop. It's not, 48, but it's 26.
It's not 48.
But then you had to throw in that you did multiples.
Oh, well, we all have. It's all part. Like it's like everybody has.
Not everybody.
Like here's the thing.
There's a couple of I know a couple of randos that have gotten out of a lot of that stuff.
I'm like, it's like it's not unique. It's part of the job.
It is, but you get, and then you get there, and at the time I was young, and you're like, this is important work, and I got to get the message out. It is, but
it is important work.
You kind of get caught up in, I don't know. All I'm trying to say is I get anxious when there's severe weather. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Doug is on, and Doug said yes. Our youngest was confirmed in the Catholic Church today.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
We were very excited.
That's cool.
Olivia said, I'm ready for spring, and I just don't want to deal with allergies, which I totally get. Dina said, my left thigh is bigger than Julia's waist, which made me laugh. Olivia said, I'm kind of ready for spring. We got that. Karen said, hide in the storm shelter. Let's see.
That's pretty good.
Make sure your camping chairs and coolers are prepared. I'm that guy. I believe that Doug is that guy.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, Karen said, did anyone see the eclipse? Dina said there was an eclipse.
It's too cloudy.
It's too cloudy.
Couldn't see it.
Okay, Christine said, being from Washington State, I never heard a tornado siren until I moved to Kansas. I had that same experience where I feel like Christine and I can relate, where it's like, it's an experience when you hear it for the first time. And my dad was in town a month ago, and we were talking, and I said, well, wait, listen. And I said, do you hear that? And I said, that's the tornado siren. Like, I was excited.
So we've had this conversation before. Would you rather deal with hurricanes or tornadoes?
Part of me says tornado or hurricanes because they're a little bit more predictable.
Hurricanes?
Hurricanes.
You would rather deal with a hurricane?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you do have like 5 days notice.
Yeah, you've got like people who are choosing not to evacuate.
Right.
But tornadoes are very unpredictable. And I think, but I will say, like, the Kansas weather is so beautiful. I love spring. I love the storms.
Okay.
There is something just really uniquely beautiful about it.
I agree with that. What's the word? I'm a little biased.
Yeah.
I do think I think it's a tremendous place to live.
But
I love Kansas. Well, I don't like the wind. I mean, you know that, and that's a problem. And you're actually from a part of the country that has like the least amount of wind ever,
and the least amount of weather.
So there you go.
I like no weather.
Yeah, I've known some meteorologists from your neck of the woods.
Yeah,
they prefer to work there because they don't have to work.
Because it's a little bit more calm and hotter.
Pretty easy gig.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think the Kansas weather is beautiful, and there is something. I do like thunderstorms. Like I love a good thunderstorm, and I just don't like the ones that are, supercells with tornadic outbreak action stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah. If I had lived in a place with weather, and that sounds so silly, if I had lived in a place with weather, I think I would have wanted to be a meteorologist. Mm-hmm. I just didn't know it existed.
Meteorology?
Like weather.
Oh, weather.
Like that sounds so dumb, but it's true. And like haboobs weren't really a thing until I got older. And then like just
are they a thing now?
They
though?
are. thing
Okay.
now.
Are they a thing?
They're a bigger thing
Is
now
that
than
a
when I
thing?
was growing up.
Is a haboob a thing?
Yeah, I remember being being 16 and driving and being like, "Oh my gosh, the haboob is here!" Like trying to drive in that. And then I also remember my mom being like, "Run outside and get the clothes," because they were outside drying, and you have to like if you are, man, we left our clothes outside to dry quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are gone and that haboob or a dust storm rolls through, like they're going back in the wash.
You know, when people talk weather, like, that's typically something they don't talk about.
The haboob?
Like if I say, "What do you think about weather predictions?" People are like, I've yet to meet. You're the first person that's like, "Yeah, hurricane, haboobs, lightning."
Yeah.
Like I don't hear a lot of like. I know we had a couple of haboobs last year,
Yeah.
and it's like, that's a thing now?
It's a thing now.
Now, that's a thing in Arizona.
It's a thing in Arizona. It's that massive
I know what it is.
wall of like the dust cloud coming through. Like that's the visual when you're thinking about it. A dust storm and then a haboob. A little bit different, right?
How are they different?
I don't know. I was really hoping you wouldn't ask that, but I'm trying to be accurate in case Lisa sees this. And I'm like, "Hey, man.
Hey, man, you guys are talking about the haboobs." I don't think it's an S on the end of that.
Somebody said, "What is a haboob?" Doug said, "What is a haboob?" It's essentially like a big dust storm or I'm going to look up.
I believe it is it's like a gust front, but it's
an intense dust storm caused by strong winds.
there you go.
But when you if you Google haboob,
Wonder how I got
spell
its
it
name.
right.
That's funny.
It's the big wall cloud. It's like the massive, and they're in Arizona, and they are in like the downtown metro area.
Man, that's interesting. We don't get a lot of that here.
I don't know that I've ever had one.
There's been some here. I know that.
In
for a
Wichita?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yes, as a matter of fact. And I think in the last 10 years. Because I remember doing stories on it. And it was kind of a neat, it was a unique thing at the time. And then I heard that phrase, and I'm like, "What is that?" And then,
What is
you know,
that?
you're like, "What is a haboob?"
I tried to look up to Google what is the difference between a dust storm and a haboob. A haboob is a specific type of dust storm that occurs when the towering updraft of a thunderstorm collapses and unleashes powerful downdrafts, sending a cooling dense air.
Okay, I was going to say that's what I thought it was the downdraft when everything comes crashing down and it hits and
Yeah.
spreads out.
Either way, neither are great. Neither are great to drive
It's a
in.
bad deal. Bad deal there.
Christine said, "Julia, do you remember the Nisqually quake in Washington State in 2001? I did not live in Washington State until 2018 to 2021. So I do not recall that. I like that you held that one in.
What?
That yawn.
I didn't yawn.
Not that you opened your mouth, but you held it in, and I could see you like,
No, it was internal.
it was an internal yawn. But no, I didn't live in Washington State at the time. But I'm clearly you do, and so I'm curious what you remember from it. I'm guessing you do, but I also want to know Mount St. Helens, if you remember that.
Were you there when that blew up?
No.
No.
However,
You weren't alive.
I wasn't alive. I don't know. I don't think Christine was alive either. That's
I bet she
also a
was.
guess.
What do you mean? I bet she was.
I don't know if she was.
That was 81, I think, or 80.
Yeah, I don't think Christine was alive.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That doesn't seem that long ago to me.
Yeah.
I was alive. I don't remember. I had relatives in Washington State, and I remember.
Did you?
I think I told you. I got a little. I don't know where it's at, but it's a little canister of the ash. They went out because they came out and everything's covered in ash where they were at, and they saved some of it and gave it to family members. So you got some Mount St. Helen ash going there, you know? I thought that was the coolest thing when I was a kid.
That is cool.
And then I got all into like Mount St. Helens. And then I learned this year, or actually late last year, you can hike right up to it.
Yeah.
You have to draw a lottery. You got you have to put your name in a lottery, and then you can, on a specific day, you can hike up to it. It's a really difficult hike, and you have to be careful when you get to the top because there's a snow ridge, and if you walk too far out on the snow ridge, boop, you fall right out. So they got people up there to make sure that you don't walk out too far.
And I think the rangers, when they're training, they are trained to give that boop.
Yep. So I thought, man, that would be fun to hike Mount St. Helens.
Yeah.
I've been fascinated with that volcano and that mountain for years since I got that little stack of ash, And then you could see the images online, and when it blew up sideways, it erupted literally sideways. It didn't go up. That's why it was so deadly. Had it erupted vertically, a lot of people would still be alive. But since it was sideways, it killed a bunch of people that were near the mountain. You didn't even have to be on the mountain. It killed you.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. I know too much about that. Yeah.
Christine said, I was on the operation table getting surgery during that earthquake.
Wow.
I'm curious.
Did they have to stop the surgery? That's interesting.
And what happened? And
well, she wouldn't have known, right? Like you wouldn't have known when you have to wake up, and then they had to say, "Oh, by the way, this is big earthquake."
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's what I'm curious about. And what is protocol? And I'm curious I'm sure doctors have protocol.
Are there a lot of, now help me, educate me here. Is there a lot of earthquakes in Washington State? I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's an earthquake. I know the West Coast has got earthquake, San Andreas Fault and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know.
I did not feel, we definitely had them when I lived there. None that I felt. The first earthquake I felt was living in Kansas.
Right.
And I didn't realize it was an earthquake at the time. And then all of a sudden my email started blowing up saying it was an earthquake.
I'm just wondering, like, maybe they don't have a protocol.
I feel like you got to have a protocol.
But if you're not in an earthquake prone area.
I bet you there's still protocol.
For earthquake specific?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I bet you like Kansas doesn't need to have like a tsunami protocol, but I bet we have like an earthquake protocol.
Their protocol is probably like, okay, if you're in an operation and an earthquake hits, the protocol is run for your life.
Run, unless you're Christine on the operating table.
Yeah, hey, control the controllables.
Dang.
That's probably not the protocol. And if it is, they should really put some thought into changing it, I think.
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to let you on the committee after they find out that your ranger advice was boop.
Well, yeah, that's what happens. You get boop,
boop, boop.
Too close. You got too far out there. Boop.
Dang.
I was actually told that they have a ranger on the days that you can hike it. If you get up there, there's a ranger at the top who will prevent you from going too far.
Do you think they hike up every day, or do you think they have like a little cabin up there?
It's seasonal. Like you.
But do they have a little cabin up there?
I don't.
Or do they have to hike it up every day?
No, I know there's a facility up there. But they probably have to hike it every day. In fact, I think they do, because I remember asking the fella.
Yeah.
And I think the rangers have to go up there every single day. And it is, from what I was told, it is not a beginner hike.
No.
So.
Interesting. Yeah. I bet they've got like a little ranger station. We're out of time.
We are. Makes me sad.
We will be back next week on Tuesday.
We will be on Tuesday. And you know what? I'm going to tell the Roy Williams story. It's appropriate for March Madness. I'm going to tell the Roy Williams story on Tuesday.
Wednesday. Tell it on Wednesday.
I'm going to tell the Roy Williams story on Wednesday. So, and I'll remind everybody on Tuesday.
And we'll remind people on Tuesday. There you go.
See you later.